know. What do you guys think? Should I do monthly reading wraps where I talk about the books that I read the previous month? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Like I said in my little intro, I think I'm going to start doing these monthly wraps where I talk about the books that I read in the previous month. So I'm going to talk about the books that I read in October, which honestly weren't many. So the first book that I read in the month of October was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. It is my second suspense book. The first kind of like suspense book that I read was Verity by Colleen Hoover. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder has more of a suspense mixed in with solving crime / murder mystery. The premise of it is the main character, her name is Pippa Fitz-Zamboni, or Pip for short. She is a senior at her high school, and for her senior year project, her capstone project, she decides to look into a murder case that happened in her town that was closed. Her original plan was to figure out if the person who was suspected to be the murderer was either innocent or guilty. With that, she dives right in and she basically uncovers many secrets from close friends of hers, adults that she knows, people she believes she could have trusted, and just many secrets from the people in her town. So, like I said, this book is the very first murder mystery book that I read. It is the first book in the series, and I really enjoyed it. It had me hooked. Even though it is a YA, I was still very hooked. I wanted to know more. I could not put it down. It was very fast-paced. I really enjoyed it. There are some aspects in the book had me questioning, especially all the times where Pip went off to different places far from her home. And when I was at her age, I would have gotten in trouble if I snuck out of the house. So I don't know how Pip's parents didn't notice when she was gone, or just didn't really stop her from doing some of the stuff, because she got hurt. I'm trying not to say a lot in case if any of you haven't read it yet. I'm trying not to spoil, but there's a lot that she does, and she does put herself and the people that she loves at risk, in danger, and on the line, just sneaking around, getting information, and uncovering stuff that people for the past 5 years have hidden. The book definitely has a lot of kind of like true crime podcast feel to it, especially because it is her senior project that she has to work on. She has to do like these entry logs, and every time she does an entry log, it just feels very podcast-like, true crime podcast-like, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed getting to know the characters, getting to know and uncover the secrets of the town, and just trying to figure out who did it, why they did it, and just so much more. And the twist at the end, I did not expect at all. I was shocked. My jaw was to the floor. I really did not see this twist coming. But like I said, overall, I really enjoyed the book. I am currently reading the second book, but probably by the time this goes out, I may have finished the second book. But I really enjoyed this book. I definitely recommend it to anybody who wants to read it. Basically, I recommend it to all of you guys. If you're into murder mystery, solving crimes, high school project-like, podcast-like style books, this is the book for you. I 10 out of 10 recommend, and I 100% would reread it again The second book that I read in October, and it honestly took me 4 days to get through, was the sequel to It Ends With Us, which is It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. This was probably one of my most anticipated releases of the year because I read It Ends With Us back in April when I was in Florida for the Disney College program. And when I found out that there was going to be a sequel to it, I was like, all right, now I gotta wait for it to come out in October. And when it did, I waited a couple days to get it. And then once I had my hands on it, I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait to read it, but I honestly could not wait to read it. Like I mentioned, it took me 4 days to get through. That's how excited I was, and that's how invested I was in the story. With that being said, It Starts With Us picks up right where It Ends With Us ends. We get 2 points of views. We get Atlas's point of view and we get Lily's point of view, and it's just a continuation of the story, but there's more to it. Lily is still dealing with a lot of the trauma that Ryle left her with. By the way, we do not like Ryle on this channel. Lily is a single mom. She is running her own business. She's taking care of her daughter Emerson, and she's just figuring out life and wrestling with this divorce agreement that she had with Ryle. Atlas, on the other hand, he has his 2 restaurants that he manages that he has to take care of, but he still has feelings for Lily, and It Starts With Us is basically their story. Throughout the book, we get both perspectives, we get both of their points of views, which is what I really liked because I was able to see Atlas's point of view, and I was able to see how much he cares about Lily and how much he really likes Lily, and how he made himself a better person, not just for himself, but for Lily as well too, because when they met, they were teenagers, they were kids, they didn't know what love was and really couldn't be together, if that makes any sense. So getting to read Atlas's point of view and read what's going on in his head and read how he cares about Lily so much just made me so incredibly happy, because more than none, I wonder what my boyfriend is thinking of when we're together, when we're apart, when basically anything. And so reading at least Atlas's point of view definitely gave me perspective on how guys think, especially when it comes to a girl that they really like. Plus, I also like that it's in 2 point of views because I am a sucker for 2 POVs. The first book that I read that really got me into reading was Legend by Marie Lu, and it had 2 POVs. The male protagonist and the female protagonist, Day and June. And I just love reading guys' perspective and just seeing what they think of the person that they like, and just seeing that they care about the person. And reading Atlas's point of view is what I really enjoyed the most about the book. I also really liked how just patient and kind Atlas is. In the words of Lily, considerate Atlas. It was great. It was beautiful. I enjoyed this book. Like I said, I read it in 4 days. 4 days. That's how invested I was in this book. What I also really enjoyed about the book is the 2 kids that come into Atlas's life. Theo, who is the son of one of Atlas's coworkers, and Josh. Spoiler alert, Josh is Atlas's brother. I apologize for that for those of you who haven't read it, but I will put this warning in. Sorry for the spoiler. But those 2 boys together just gave the book a comedic effect to it in a way, because Theo, absolutely hilarious, especially trying to be a therapist to Atlas. I love that Atlas talked to a 12-year-old about his love life. Just too funny, and all the catchphrases and cheesy pickup lines that Theo would come up with, I had me laughing out loud every time I read them. And Josh, when he comes in, it was just another element of humor, especially how he can take a bad situation and make it funny. And then when those two boys meet, I'm like, yes, I needed this comedy just to lighten up the mood of this book a little bit. So overall, I really liked It Starts With Us. It was the conclusion that I needed after reading It Ends With Us. As I was reading the book throughout, I teared up every now and then, and it just, not crying because of sadness like what It Ends With Us had me doing, but more tears of joy and just tears of happiness for both characters. I know they're just characters in a book, but to me, it just made me happy reading these characters finally being happy themselves. So 10 out of 10 recommend. Also recommend reading It Ends With Us if you haven't read it, but I definitely recommend reading It Starts With Us if you haven't read it already. Well, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my October wrap. Like I said in the beginning of the video, it's just 2 books that I read this month. I am a slow reader, so I take forever to finish books. The books that I have planned to read for this month, November, is Good Girl, Bad Blood, which is the 2nd book in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. The 3rd book, which is As Good As Dead, and another Colleen Hoover book, which is November 9. Fitting because it's November. I just wish I had the 9th off so that way I can read it on that day. But if I finish Good Girl, Bad Blood this weekend, I'm probably gonna start it next week. We'll see how things plan out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please give it a like, leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this where I talk about books that I read in the previous month, give them reviews, and give them recommendations for you all. Please let me know in the comments down below, and also let me know what books you read last month and what books you plan on reading this month. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week with a brand new video. Bye!